It's the end of July. I read 12 books and 3 novellas this month, so let's rapid fire through them. I read A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoy how she combines these dark and creepy concepts with humor and witty banter. And this book had that signature style. I read The Romcomers by Catherine Center. I really enjoyed her book. This is everything I want in a rom-com. It's got witty dialogue, it's romantic, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, and the story had a really satisfying wrap-up. I gave it 4.5 stars. I read The Warm Hands of Ghosts, which is a historical magical realism book. This was a really beautiful and haunting story set during World War II, and I think it was absolutely brilliant for her to combine magical realism in a historical World War I setting because it really helped to get into this mindset of like how haunting and nightmarish the soldiers' experiences were in the war. I gave this book 5 stars. I read Wooing the Witch Queen, and I know I enjoyed reading this book, but honestly, it wasn't super memorable. I just know I gave it 4 stars. I read The Glass Castle by Janet Walls, and this was a really brilliant memoir. It was really easy to read. Her childhood was crazy. I have so much sympathy for the way that she grew up, and I think everyone should read this book. I read Blood Heir by Alona Andrews. This is a story that follows a character from the Kate Daniels series. That is one of my favorite series, so obviously I love this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. I read 2 Patricia Briggs books this month. I read Dead Heat, which is book 4 in the Alpha and Omega series, and I read Nightbroken, which is book 8 in the Mercy Thompson series. I'm doing a tandem read of these 2 series. They are set in the same world. I gave both of these books 4 stars. I read Book of Night by Holly Black, and I didn't expect to enjoy this book as much as I did. The story is twisty and dark, the characters are morally gray and make questionable choices. The plot is fast paced, it keeps you guessing, and I can't wait for the second book to release. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I read Capture the Crown by Jennifer Stepp, and I didn't really like this book. I gave it 2 stars. I feel like the story was pretty ridiculous, and it was a little too heavy on the plot conveniences, so I'm not going to continue the series. I read Dragon Fruit by Makia Lucier, and I enjoyed this book. It's a young adult fantasy set on the Pacific Islands. It's got dragons, it's got really likable characters. The plot was a little bit predictable, but I still enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I read 3 Penguin Little Black Classic novellas. I have another video talking about these in length, so I'm not really going to get into them, but I will say that of the 3 that I read, I would recommend this one by Kate Chopin the most. I just feel like these stories were the most impactful. Then I read The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This is a Mulan retelling. I did enjoy how fast-paced and action-packed this book was and how the main character struggles a lot with like greed and making decisions that are best for her rather than those that are morally correct. And it did make me feel pretty nostalgic about Mulan, but at the same time, I feel like it didn't really do a good job of standing on its own, especially in the first half of the book. But overall, I still enjoyed it, and I am going to continue this series. And that's it. This was a pretty strong month.